Okay. Okay, and there was a bit of dialogue there that just got abruptly halted. He wants to talk to us? I'm one of the generic sensates in the Civil Fest Hall. Pleased to meet you. Fest Hall. Fest Hall? I don't know. Pleased to leave you? What? I wonder if this was some kind of developer NPC. Yeah. Alright, I don't know. I wonder if that's a bug or if that's... I don't know what's going on there. So we seem to be in a slightly more repaired place. Alright, let's talk to this... Okay. I think Morta just got abducted. Which is really bad because we really need him. Let's... Okay, hang on. Wasn't there someone else who wanted to take Morta? There was a collector in the Ragpicker Square who wanted to take Morta. Anyway, I'm going to save over this one, I suppose. Actually, I'm going to save in a new slot. And yeah, figure out what just happened. You see a pretty young woman in fine clothes. Her skin lacks the usual yellow tint of the inhabitants of this ward. She appears to be watching 3 nearby creatures with interest. She turns to face you, and an annoyed look crosses her face. Yes, what do you want? Fine, she's irritated. Who are you? Xanthea, is there something else you want? What are you doing here? There's going to be a fight and I want to see it. She smiles wickedly. It should be interesting. The 3 Thakola over there, they're going to kill an Abishai, she snorts. The stupid oafs. What is an Abishai? It's a lower plane creature, a Betezu, I think. She fends in thought. In any case, Abishai have a nasty disposition, sharp claws, and can cast spells. Very formidable. The Thakola look like they can take care of themselves. Normally I would say yes. Thakola are very powerful warriors. She smiles slightly and leans to whisper to you. However, I know something they don't. And what's that? Abishai can only be hurt by magic. She snickers. The Thakola will be slaughtered. I have no doubt of it. She stands up and watches the Thakola eagerly. How do you know that? My husband is very high up in the Harmonium, and the Harmonium guards are trained to deal with creatures such as Abishai. Why don't you warn them? Why would I do that? She smiles evilly. I'm the one who suggested the fight. Okay, why is that? My husband tries to better his social standing with his underlings by drinking with them in local taverns. Last evening, he forced me to just such an occasion. Those 3 oafs were there, boasting of their prowess as warriors. It was obvious they were in a drunken stupor. When I decided to leave, one of them tripped and fell into the table I was sitting at. Oh, come on. She frowns angrily. Most of the drinks at the table spilled onto my lap, and ruined a very expensive evening gown. So while the cretin was trying to apologize, I whispered to him that I only accepted the apology of a warrior of stature. If he were truly such a warrior, he'd be able to defeat an Abishai in hand-to-hand combat. Alright, yeah, I think our character is going to be a bit upset. You're going to get them killed because they ruined a dress? You obviously do not understand the intricacies beyond the situation. She looks at you like you are an idiot child. I was embarrassed and humiliated in front of my husband and his underlings. Right, I must be going now. I think our character is going to talk to these 3. I'm assuming it's these 3. Greetings. They're 9 feet tall. Rippling muscles support this massive frame. He turns at you and greets, looking down at you. A look of confusion crosses his feature. Gort greets small one. He gives an apologetic look and shakes his head. Gort not speaking well your talk. Sorry, you must ask Thorpe. Alright, thank you. You are Thorpe. This creature is huge, standing over 9 feet tall. Greetings. What you want, Smalley? I have some questions. You got a question? Maybe Thorpe got an answer. He smiles at you. I talked to Xanthia. She said you're going to fight an Abishai? He smiles and nods at you enthusiastically. That right. Thorpe and friends Barsh. I've learned that Abishai can only be hurt by magic weapons. I think we'll warn him, because... yeah, I think the Nameless One is actually kind of pissed off by that rich, weird, spoiled attitude. He gives you a worried look. Need magic? How you know? I've asked around Thorpe. It's what people tell me. Or I could say I talked to Xanthia. I don't think we're going to do that, because that might escalate into a weird situation. Actually, that's the kind of thing that the Nameless One would want. Yeah, we'll say. We talked to Xanthia, she told me. He seems confused at first, then a look of realization appears on his face. Xanthia play Thorpe for a coney. She lie, try to get Thorpe and friends dead. I'm afraid so, Thorpe. He nods. Xanthia not deserve apology. Thorpe free from debt to her. Yes, you are free of your debt. Thorpe, thank you. You save life of friends. And they all bow and hand a pouch of coins. Good. Now let's try to find out what happened to Mort.
Right.
If there's anyone here who can help. Sebastian? You see an older man in elegant robes. He has bright eyes and a warm smile. Good day, Cutter. I'm Sebastian. How may I serve you? He notices your scars. His eyes travel along them and his eyebrows arch in surprise. I was about to ask what I could do for you, but there's no need. I think I see why you came to me, Cutter. What, are you going to say you can help me with these scars? Perhaps, Cutter, perhaps. He runs a finger along several of them, mumbling to himself. Finally, he looks up. Yes, Cutter, I can help you. I cannot cure you, but I can alleviate the worst of your condition. What is the price? Begins stroking his chin and stares at you. You're being weighed somehow. He seems to come to some sort of decision. I think I have a job that you could perform. Go on. I've signed a contract with a certain creature. I'm no longer able to fulfill the contract. It is beyond my abilities. However, the creature will not release me from the contract. Instead, it has threatened me with death unless I fulfill the contract. Okay, I think just go on would be sufficient. I cannot do it myself. My reputation demands that I fulfill the contract or face the consequences. I'm at his mercy. I'm at your mercy in this regard. Will you help me? What kind of creature? An Abishai named Grosset Cutter. He pauses to gauge your reaction. I know this is a difficult task, but one I think you can handle. Also, the reward I offer you is great. What were you contracted to do? I cannot reveal that information. I am magically bound not to. That's why people come to me. They know if I accept a contract, it will be handled with discretion. Okay, that's an interesting proposal. Give me the details.
My journal.
Thank you, Cutter. The creature is an Abishai named Grosek. You need a magic weapon to cause any harm. So check with some of the shops if you do not own one. Okay. It lies east beyond the siege tower. Beyond the market. Damn thing just appeared one day several years back. No one knows why. No one seems able to get inside it to find out. Okay. So we'll need magic in order to deal with it. Let's talk to this person on the street. This woman has yellow cast to her skin and severe features. She has tattoos, long blade. As you approach her, they follow Dakin's movements. Before you reach her, Dakin breaks in. How do I have you hear me? What is it? It is my will that we not speak to this woman. Why not? She's a Zerth. Our wills are crossed blades. We have no common ground. Then I say, well, then you don't need to speak to her. As you approach, she ignores you entirely. Dakin gives her a slight bow, to which she ignores entirely. She loosens a string of harsh words at Dakin, and he replies in a level tone. This only seems to infuriate her. What did she say? He need not translate for you. I will tell you. You are a human wearing a shirt of scars and blood, unfit to hear the words of Zerthamon. You walk in the shadow of a pariah. No. Oh, anyway. Yet he has persuaded me to allow you to speak to me. I would know your will. Just had a few questions. Akali drowning? Ask and you shall be answered. What did he say? I walk in the shadow. You walk with Perry and you know not his history. He is quick to speak other words, but not of his history. Ask him or of the fall of a mighty fortress to the Githyanki. Okay, this is Githyanki, and see what has divided mind reveals to you. Ask him how he speaks with the Zerthamon's words, but his Karak is as mist. Dakin says, it is not Zerthamon's words that lack conviction. It is their echoes that have been distorted. There is no doubt how Zerthamon's mind is spoken. Generations of Zerth are as Rakma's jewel, of one mind on this matter. Your stance carries with it a divided mind. The doubt is yours, an echo cast from your own faithlessness. Dakin says, your words speak not the mind of Zerthamon, and they are shaped of angles and hate, as if molded from Gith's mind itself. Kilnar replies, you shall lie with the dead of Shrakt's lore in shifting chaos, for you see all with Vilquar's eye. Your mind is divided, your Karak weak. Okay, so we could attack. It's standing away. Or we could say, Dakin, you will stop this now. Well, we can stand in the way of the blades. Just physically put a barrier there. As if sensing your intent, Dakin speaks to you without breaking the gaze he holds with Kilnar. Hold fast and do not stand in the way of our blades. Dakin, I order you to stop this. This could become trouble. Dakin reluctantly lowers his blade. Kina stares at him incredulously for a moment, and then a sharp grin splits her features. The truth at last. Your mind is not divided. You are a slave to this human. He speaks with an anarch's authority to you, and you listen. Your mind is cast in Gith's mold, Kina. Let's go, Dakin. You've lost your way, Dakin. Know that I hope you find your path. I pity you. Farewell. So lots going on there. Yeah, I really want to know what happened to Morta. Okay. And we don't even have... a journal entry that describes what happened to Morta, I don't think. Yeah, so what am I supposed to do? What? It just disappeared. Okay. So greetings to this guy. What do you want? I have some questions. Oh yeah, okay. So he's a tout. You seem to be a knowledgeable individual I can learn from. What do you be wanting to know? Oh right. I had a skull and it's been stolen from me. Do you know anyone who would do such a thing? He looks a little uncomfortable. Missing a skull, are you? Well, now, you never heard such from me, but there's people in these parts that, he glances around, make a living by collecting heads of the dead. Work for a basher named Lothar. They call him Master of the Bones. Where can I find him? Now, that's dangerous wigwag. If I were to say anything, which I'm not, I would say to keep an eye out for a gutted building here in the ward. Mayhaps you would find something there, eh? He glares at you. But you never heard such from me, eh? Okay. For a gutted building here in the ward. Okay. Okay, so he's a warrior, apparently. Is there anything interesting to see around here? Are you feeling alright? Nothing a few years of death won't cure. He coughs and looks up. Air's been getting worse in the ward of late. By my reckon, it should level out once the great foundry settles. Or wind blows through from the spire. Okay. What was that about the winds? At times winds blow in from Sigel's spire. Drive the smog out. He glances up and coughs. For a while. Alright, and what's with the air here? It's mostly because of all the portals. What do you mean by that? Lots of doors to lower planes here and let in bad air and fumes and such from who knows what layer of the abyss. That's why this here is the lower ward. He laughs. A jaunt through this area is like breathing in a meal. Salt, smoke, pipeweed. It's all yellow blankets of smoke and stinging sulfurous gas that this ward spits out. He gives you a gap-toothed smile. Pretty, hey? Alright, and what's this foundry? Sent out the ward, pretty much. Look for the stacks. Them godsmen make a bunch of things out of iron. Nothing fancy, but they work. Add to the bad air, too. Godsmen? The believers have their kip in the great foundry, banging and singing and chanting their barmy silliness on being powers in the next 10 upon 10 and a bunch of other 10 to lifetimes. He rolls his eyes and spits a brown mass from his mouth. All they do is suffer and slave and work. I slave twice as hard, and no am I going to get any sort of power. You understand me, Burke? Okay, I must be going. So we're looking for a building that is not doing so well. Marketplace. Indoor marketplace. There's a siege tower. A warehouse. That might be interesting. Coffin maker. Upper ward. Wrecked house. Okay, that's more, I think. Great foundry. Pawn shop. Alley of lingering sighs. Alright, so we'll go to a wrecked house.
Alright.
Actually, no, we're not going to do that first. First, we're going to go to the marketplace and buy some healing items.